What's up guys, it's Bradley Overrated bringing you another Overrated review, and today's game is Year Walk. And if you're wondering why I don't have a title screen for this game, welcome to the first problem of this game. Apparently you can't just click and start a new game. It'll always remember where you left off, so I apparently left off at this particular moment in this game. I could not go back to the intro screen or start the game off fresh to show you kind of the story or the beginning part unless I finish the entire game all the way through. But despite this really big issue when I think about it, Year Walk is a really fun game. I really enjoyed it immensely. So to sum up the story as best as I can is, in Year Walk you play as a guy named Daniel who is in love with this other woman who is apparently engaged to be married to another man. He doesn't like it, so he decides to go on a year walk. And Year Walk is this Swedish old classic folklore or tale of if you can walk to a church, you can see the future. And it's a really cool concept that is really well implemented in this game. When this story happened, man, I wasn't 100% committed. I was about 50% through the whole game, and I was thinking, man, this story's kind of weird. I'm not certain if I'm gonna like this. But by the end of it, oh baby, it all comes together. And it is actually one of the best point-and-click adventure stories I have had the pleasure to experience. This game's narrative gets surprisingly good and crazy, and I love it, baby. And I also love the puzzles and all the folklore that goes back behind this. You can actually read up on all of these stories, like for example who the brook horse is, which is that weird horse looking figure that's in the water. You can actually read up on what his tell is and why he's there, and there's a bunch of other ones. And I really like that they paid really close attention to Swedish folklore, and these are actually, this whole game is based off of real folklore tales from Sweden, and that on and of itself is really cool. When it comes to the puzzles themselves, I really enjoyed them, and one thing that really impressed me was how every puzzle felt different, and there were even some puzzles that relied heavily on sound. So instead of being able to see what you needed to do to solve the puzzle, you had to listen very carefully in order to solve the puzzle, and that was really cool. I am very impressed with how they implemented that, actually, because you just don't get horror games that focus heavily on sound, especially for solving puzzles. So well done to these guys. And another thing that's really impressive about this game is just how creepy it is. You do get the occasional jump scare or two, but it's just the way they presented the game and its atmosphere in it always made me feel like one of these ghosts was standing right here over my shoulder as I played the game. I really enjoyed that. If it's one thing though I didn't enjoy in this game, it is the map system. This map system is kind of infuriating. It's easy to get lost and to do a lot of backtracking despite the game being relatively short in a small environment, but the map itself kind of makes you go left, up, right, down, right, up, left, up, and if that sounds confusing, it's because it is. You will kind of learn the areas and you'll start to become more familiar with where you're at as you progress through the game, but it's still kind of infuriating as you will constantly, and I mean constantly, pull up this map to make sure you're going the right way. And if you ever get stuck doing the puzzles, have no fear, there are hints in the game. On my first playthrough, I did the entire thing without hints, and I kind of wish I had done it with hints originally. Would have saved me probably a lot of time, as I found the hints on my second playthrough of the game to be quite helpful. I didn't really need most of them because the game was fresh in my mind and I knew exactly what I was doing, but I did check them out, and I'm happy to report that if you want, the game does give you hints, and you don't feel stupid because there were some puzzles that were so blatantly obvious that once I did figure it out, I literally hit myself on the forehead because of how stupid I felt after solving it. So I'm certain we've all been there if we've all, played a lot of click and point adventure games. And that kind of sums up my impressions of Year Walk, so let's go ahead now and give this puppy a letter grade, and I give letter grades because that's the way I roll, A being the best and F being the worst, and I love Year Walk, guys. I want you to know that the grade I give it is with a lot of love, and if I could, I would give it a higher grade. It is seriously one of my favorite surprise indie titles I have ever played. I don't know what it is about this game, but it just worked for me on almost every capacity. So I am giving Year Walk a B+. And it would have gotten a higher grade if trying to navigate through the map and through the entire area essentially of the game wasn't so confusing at times, and then it would have definitely gotten a higher grade had it given me the option to be able to start a new game anytime I wanted to. Like I said, once you start this game, you cannot start a new game as far as I can tell. So if you're playing this game and you have to take a break from it and you come back a month later and you don't know what's going on and you need to start the game again, good luck to you, because I don't think you can. And that, my friends, concludes this Overrated review. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you learned about a new game today, be sure to click that like button and definitely click that subscribe button. I do random reviews all the time on this channel, and what game will I play next? Beats me! I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? And I will see you guys on the next Overrated review. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout. Have a good one.